During her Ocean of Love lecture tour in 2000, Supreme Master Ching Hai accepted the invitation of sincere truth aspirants to visit this beautiful country and share God's wisdom and love. Please enjoy part 1 of the following insightful lecture titled The Reunion of Souls, delivered by Supreme Master Ching Hai in Auckland, New Zealand on April 27, 2000.
The following is a brief video introduction to the Supreme Master Ching Hai, her works, her teachings, honours received, and acknowledgements of her devoted assistance to the underprivileged, the poor, the sick, and the victims of war and natural disasters which she has offered freely over the years. Okay. Please watch that and we'll get on with the rest of the lecture very shortly.
Supreme Master Ching Hai is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. She has been invited to lecture on the Kuan Yin method of meditation throughout the world and to millions of people. We now invite you to view a short video entitled Walk the Way of Love, an introduction to Supreme Master Ching Hai. We will search high and low for a little love to share with all beings in all corners of the world. Supreme Master Ching Hai, as she has affectionately become known to those who've had the pleasure to meet or work with her, lives a message that walks the way of love. A renowned humanitarian, artist, and spiritual visionary, her love and assistance is extended beyond all cultural and racial boundaries to millions of people around the world, including the needy and the homeless, institutions of medical research on AIDS and cancer, war veterans of the United States of America, the disadvantaged elderly, the physically and mentally handicapped, refugees and victims of natural disasters such as earthquakes, floods, typhoons, and fires. Not only are human beings the blessed beneficiaries of her kindness, animals from different species are also the recipients of her boundless benevolence. Through these works, we witness countless reminders of compassion, which is the trademark of this caring lady, and the international foundation that has grown out of her loving example.
Whatever we can share, begin with sharing. And then we will feel a subtle change in ourselves. More love will be pouring into our consciousness, and we will be aware of something. And that is the beginning. We are here to learn to grow, as well as to learn to use our power, our limitless power of love and creativity in order to make a better world wherever we happen to be.
Supreme Master Ching Hai was born in central Olak. During her early years, she was often found helping hospital patients, the needy, as well as injured animals in whichever way she could. As a young adult, she moved to Europe to study and continued there as a translator for the Red Cross. She soon discovered that pain and suffering exist in all cultures and in all corners of the globe. And her search for the remedy to this became the foremost goal in her life. She was happily married at the time to a German doctor, and although it was an extremely difficult decision for both of them, her husband agreed to a separation. She then embarked on what became a 2-year journey in search for spiritual understanding. Finally, in the deepest reaches of the Himalayas in India, she found an enlightened master who imparted to her the Kuan Yin method, a meditation technique which contemplates on the inner light and sound. After a period of practice, she became fully enlightened. Soon after her return from the Himalayas, at the earnest request of those around her, Master Ching Hai shared the Kuan Yin method with others, encouraging them to look within to find their own greatness. People from all walks of life found that through the Kuan Yin method of meditation, they attained greater fulfillment, happiness, and peace in their daily lives. Before long, invitations arrived from the United States, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, and South America, as well as important organizations for Master Ching Hai to give lectures.
The peace and love that we most often talk about and seek, we have within ourselves. Mais les conséquences, c'est pas pareil. Es ist nur eine ununterbrochen Anstrengung. The future is in our hands. So you make it beautiful or you make it worse. It's up to you.
As well as being a noble example of humanitarian aid, Master Ching Hai also encourages people to beautify the world we live in. Through meditating with the Kuan Yin method, Master Ching Hai has realized many spontaneous talents that she expresses through artistic paintings and creations, music and poetry, and aesthetic jewelry and clothing designs, expressing the inner and outer beauty of the cultures and peoples she has met. In 1995, upon the demand of the public, her clothing creations were toured on the international fashion circuit, including London, Paris, Milan, and New York. The income generated from her artistic creations has enabled Supreme Master Ching Hai to create an independent source of funding for humanitarian activities in support of her noble mission of assisting God's children in their times of need. Although she does not seek acknowledgement of any kind, in recognition of her selfless assistance, Supreme Master Ching Hai has been given awards worldwide by government officials and private organizations on numerous occasions. They include the World Peace Award, the World Spiritual Leadership Award, Award for Promotion of Human Rights, World Citizen Humanitarian Award, Award for Outstanding Public Service to Mankind, 2006 Goosey Peace Prize, Los Angeles Music Week Certificate of Commendation, and First Place Silver for the 27th Annual Telly Awards 2006. In addition, October 25th and February 22nd have been proclaimed as the Supreme Master Ching Hai Day in the United States.
She is the light of a great person, an angel of mercy for all of us.
Agradecer la Suprema Maestra su liderazgo, agradecerle su optimismo, agradecerle ese don de gente que tiene que la hace tan única y tan especial.
Una impresión muy grata de ver un corazón tan noble, tan dispuesto a servir. Ella está sirviendo a todos los seres humanos, está sirviendo al planeta para salvarlo, para rescatarlo. Tiene un corazón noble, pero también un gran liderazgo. Sé que van a suceder las cosas que tienen que suceder.
Supreme Master Ching Hai is one of the truly dedicated people of this era, helping others find and create a beautiful vision of our future. Many great people in history have had a dream, and in her own words, so does Supreme Master Ching Hai.
I dream that all the world will become peaceful. I dream that all the killing will stop. I dream that all the children will walk in peace and harmony. I dream that all the nations shake hands with each other, protect each other, and help each other. I dream that our beautiful planet will not be destroyed. It takes billion, trillions of years to produce this planet, and it's so beautiful, so wonderful. I dream that it will continue, but in peace, beauty, and love.
For whatever reason you have come tonight, perhaps the underlying reason is that we are all searching for something. As I too have been searching and believe I have found my answers in this method of meditation. While practicing this meditation, you feel more loving, alive, happier, rejuvenated, and healthier than ever before. A natural, peaceful state is present throughout our daily lives, and this helps us to be more efficient in our daily work and being able to resolve situations that may have been previously daunting. By connecting with the inner light and sound, we can experience more peace and harmony and be more fulfilled in our everyday life. On a personal note, I have been fortunate to be practicing the Kuan Yin method for almost 6.5 years now. I feel I can do no justice with words to even begin to describe the beauty not just seen within, but experienced daily through this meditation. Such an incredible radiance and almighty energy is beyond description or words. Master Ching Hai's teachings were shared with me without binding, charge, or conditions. Yet I have received so much. I am forever grateful to Master Ching Hai for sharing this precious gift of love. At best, all I can do is humbly invite you all to experience the divine yourselves. There are 2 meditation techniques taught by the Supreme Master Ching Hai, which you are most welcome to learn tonight if you are interested. The first is the Kuan Yin method of meditation. The words Kuan Yin means observation of the inner vibration. The heavenly music is mentioned in many of the Holy Scriptures as the Logos, or word in the Bible, the Nada and Shad in Hinduism, and inner sound stream in Buddhism. These are just some examples. This word or divine vibration vibrates within life and sustains the whole universe. The inner melody can heal all wounds, fulfills all desires, and quench all worldly thirst. It is because we are made of this sound that contact with it brings us peace and contentment to our hearts. After listening to this sound, our whole being changes and our entire outlook on life is greatly altered for the best. This method of meditation is easy to learn and can be practiced by all people regardless of your lifestyle, social customs, religious beliefs and affiliations. It is composed of 2 parts, the inner light and inner sound meditation. And those who choose to practice this are required to meditate for 2.5 hours each day. The second form of meditation is called the convenient method of meditation. This can also benefit you enormously. It can help you feel more at ease both physically and mentally, and to live a life of greater peace and happiness. This method only requires half an hour each day of meditation. This was developed as an introduction to meditation with the option to learn the Kuan Yin method being available at any point when ready. If anyone is interested in learning any one of these 2 meditations taught by the Supreme Master Ching Hai, following the question answer session, this will be free of charge. Working staff will be on hand in the foyer to help guide you to the registration desks. I've come to realize that this is about developing ourselves, our souls, to a level of love that is beyond any energy I have ever known, experienced, or imagined. I figured, well, we study at school and we develop our bodies and minds. It only seems natural to me that the soul may want the same. It is the higher love experienced, not just talked about, which drives us all to want to share with others what we know and experience daily through meditation. On this note, I would like to introduce to you our guest speaker, Karen, who would like to share with you her experiences since practicing the Kuan Yin method of meditation. Thank you.
Kia ora, tātou katoa. Welcome to you all. Wow, it's great to see so many soul searchers out there and seekers. I'd just like to say how blessed and fortunate we are tonight to have the Supreme Master Ching Hai visit our shores of Aotearoa, New Zealand. I will now just like to say a few words about how I came across the Kuan Yin form of meditation and my experiences of this. Even as a young girl, I've been extremely curious, a searcher to the meaning of life, why we are here and why we have to undergo so much misery. I always believed that God was out there. I never knew that he was within us. I got extremely disillusioned with the world. I traveled the world and all I saw beautiful things, but I also saw a lot of misery. So I turned to things, the material world, such as drugs and alcohol, money, things that I thought would make me happy, but, it just brought much suffering. My life came to a crossroad and I was led into the field of social work. So in my 4th year of university, I was reading the newspaper and I came across an article on a spiritual day. And so I sort of thought about it and I thought, didn't take much thought of it. And then coming back from my Sunday ritual to the flea market, it popped into my mind and I thought, shall I go to this day or not? And my immediate thoughts were no. Got an excuse for, I've got too much to do, haven't got enough time, got to go to a party, everything but what I should be doing. Because you find that your conscience either accuses you or excuses you. And it was most certainly trying to excuse me. And so anyway, God would not have a bar of this, and so off I was in Long Bay at this spiritual day. And I was just cruising around, sort of looking at everything, and nothing came out and got me. I wasn't passionate about anything. But then from a distance I saw the Kuan Yin stall and I took a closer look and I thought at first, who are they? But then I took another little step closer And I thought, gosh, you know, they look so healthy and so happy. What do they have that I don't? So I went up and I took a free sample booklet and went on my merry way home, and I read it, and I just thought, yeah, you know, I felt so inspired. It was exactly what I was into, vegetarianism, you know, thou shalt not kill. And so, yeah, it was instant affiliation with me. I was overcome with joy and inspiration with everything I found in the Kuan Yin booklet. Because I was already a full vegetarian, I was very fortunate to be initiated within a month. I felt that I just could not let this opportunity of 1,000,000 years or a lifetime go. I just wanted to have it because I knew the benefits of it, and it was so good. The day I picked up the Kuan Yin booklet was the day my life changed forever and for the better. Kuan Yin has brought me great happiness, joy, and inspiration into my life. I am currently working with people with mental illness and also youth with severe behavioural problems, and I think half the staff and the clients think I'm way more manic than they are because, you know, I'm just so happy and just got so much energy all the time. The benefits are in abundance, and you notice the whole change in energy around you and your whole atmosphere. My sister and her partner are now initiated because they just want to jump on this spiritual train as well because they know it makes them feel so good. They've realised that you do not find happiness in the material world. But like all human beings, once initiated, we still have to face the challenges that arise. For me, that has been difficult at times. We all have our ups and downs, but even on my downs, I realised that I never doubted Kuan Yin. I more doubted myself and my own personal weaknesses, but I soon got over these with more meditation. My greatest challenge since being initiated was 2 old school friends committing suicide. You know, this of course made me so sad, but I never could go to the depths of depression like I could before I was initiated. I feel meditation for me, it allows you to cope better with even little things and also with huge things, such as this tragic event. There are so many suffering people in the world, and it made me realise that people would never harm themselves or harm each other if they had the knowledge of the bigger picture and the inner power from the inner light and inner sound in meditation. So I just wanted to share my story with you tonight because you just can't help but want to share something that makes you so happy, and you know you've seen the benefits. I've seen the benefits in other people. You know, and you want to help raise the consciousness of the land, and this in turn will bring world peace. So I feel I have now awoken my sleeping soul, and I look through very different eyes. What can I say but get enlightened? We are in a very privileged position tonight to be in the presence of a true living master, the Supreme Master Ching Hai. She has the key, and it's your birthright. Take it. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Karen. I'd like to introduce to you now Avril, our next guest speaker.
Kia ora. I'm a bit shorter than them. Is that fine? Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Avril Port tōku ingoa, no Kemureti te tauri, te matua, no Aida te aukaka te whaia, ko Napo Inui tonu te iwi. I want to pay tribute to God tonight and thank Him for sending our Supreme Master Ching Hai to our shores of Aotearoa. I would also like to thank our kaumātua and queer who are at the moment welcoming our Master, our Supreme Master, with the ceremony according to her distinguished position. I was asked to share with you my experiences as a practitioner of the Kuan Yin method of meditation. My first experience with Kuan Yin was when I attended a spiritual fair in Whangarei. There were several spiritual fairs that charged for their services, and I found one tucked away in a little corner of the stadium, and everything on that stall was free. And this stall was the Kuan Yin method of meditation. I took a pamphlet home, and for several months, Master's photo, as you can see around the stadium, kept attracting my attention. Several months later, my younger sister Lynette rang and told me about a new meditation group that she had just joined, and it was called the Kuan Yin method of meditation. When she started practicing Kuan Yin, I noticed the change in her life. She'd stopped struggling so much. Problems that once overwhelmed her became less of a struggle. And I thought, I almost missed the most beautiful thing in my life. I was given a second chance. I am now a full vegetarian. It's very difficult for me as Māori because I used to love meat and fish. 1 month ago, I became a full initiate, something I'll never regret. My mum is 81, my dad's 82. They have both been very sick for a long time, and since they have been practicing, Master has been guiding them. She has appeared to them in dreams, has looked after them, and even helped them heal themselves, spiritually and physically. We laughed once because Mum said that they were so worried they went to the doctor to see if they were well. So, what more can I say? My husband has also been practicing. Although he does not want to become an initiate yet, he fully supports me in everything I do. He's very strong in character and a very proud person. But I believe the practice has opened a spiritual aspect in him, and softer qualities have also emerged. For me personally, what strikes me the most about all of Master's teachings and the Kuan Yin method of meditation is that, as Master says, we are the light. But the problems are, we're tied up with money problems, with work, with all the information that keeps coming at us every single day, every single hour, minute, on the TV, everywhere else. So that often we become engulfed in the problem. It just comes in and engulfs us. This is a problem I often have. Master teaches us that we have to look inward to know who is the boss and what we need to do. Master's teachings encourage me to know that enlightenment is our true nature and that we always have it. And if we have a way to recognize it, that it will always be there. This is where I believe that the Kuan Yin method of meditation and Master's teachings come in. I have searched for someone to elevate my consciousness or wisdom to such a point that whatever problems or challenges I encounter in my life, I will be able to use wisdom to resolve them. And to be able to help others as well, which is a really huge focus of mine, to help others. But you can't help others if you can't help yourself first. Since practicing this method, Master has done this for me and more. One of the things I like most is the promise Master has made to all those who follow her and her path and her guidance with diligence and sincerity, and that promise is that she will always be there for us, and that once connected with her, we will always be connected, no matter where she is in the world. And I can tell you that it's true. I want to thank Master for her purity and infinite love and wisdom, and for being here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, to share it with us here. And I want to say to you all, have a good look at it. Kia ora, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora.
I I have now Peter, who would like to say a few words about his practicing experiences.
I have started the Kuan Yin method almost a year ago. That is after I've been practicing other types of meditation for over 25 years. Having had a chance to practice other meditations, the Kuan Yin method brought for me a level of enlightenment which I have never had before. It has fulfilled my heart so deeply that I'm very, very grateful to Master for her step she took in the Himalayas, which was not easy, and each one of us most probably will make steps which are not easy. It has changed my life, so much so that I had a library of over 3,000 books at home of various spiritual practices. After I have learned Master's method, I've taken all the books to a store and sold them all. And I thought maybe some of them might be helpful to others, so I sold each book for $5, and almost all of them got sold. I have a family. Myself, I'm from Austria, and I live in Australia. I have 4 children. 2 of them are already grown up and have left home. My life, my family life, has changed dramatically through the Kuan Yin method. I became a much more easygoing father, as my children say, having been before quite strict. And I can say that my relationship with my wife has improved very deeply. I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. I'd just like to mention that in the sample booklets that you've been given on entering into the area, there are question and answer sheets, and at any time, if you would like to write out any questions for Master to answer, there will be, as I said, a question and answer session, which she will be most happy to answer those questions. There will be ushers available who will be able to give you pens and papers for you to complete that information. I'd like to invite Avril up. Apparently there's a pulphery going on out the front, which is for Master Ching Hai.
When you become a full initiate, you realize that Master has taken a lot of what we call karmic lifetimes away from you. I'm not going to explain it because I'm still new. I'm only a baby. And so it was very difficult to arrange, and I'm not sure how they went because, as is traditional with us as Māori, it was handed to one of our male initiates to finish off. And I believe that that's what they're doing at the moment in the foyer, welcoming Master, our kaumātua and queer. And we hope to also have a culture group come in with her. And I'm not sure what culture group we've got coming. So if you would bear with us for a moment, it shouldn't be long and they should be here. As is customary with Māoridom, we like to take a long time to do things. Kia ora.
There's so much beauty in your eyes. I see them welling up with tears. I see you lift up your gaze to the sky with joy, with joy, pure joy. I feel the angels calling me, winging out from your eyes with the rising sun. There's so much beauty in your smile. I feel you warm upon my cheek. I feel you bringing down your shield with trust, pure trust. I feel the angels calling me, winging out from your smile with the rising sun. There's so much beauty in your heart. I feel your glow from within. I feel you rising above your fear with love, pure love. I feel the angels calling me, winging out from your heart with the rising sun. There's so much beauty in your soul. I feel you everywhere I go. I see your spirit light up this world with peace, pure peace. I feel the angels calling me, winging out from your eyes, your smile and your heart, and your very soul. Is it really you? Is it déjà vu? I know I've known you before the dawn of time. You embody love in its truest form. You're beaming with a light that shines the way. We are angels in expression, in the total universal connection. Through one another's eyes, we can recognize the truth. Remember me, come close and see. We are one together, we are free. Let me feel your pain, we will heal again. Where there is a will, there is a way. For we are angels in expression, in the total universal connection. Through one another's eyes, we can recognize the truth. I'm gonna leap for joy. I'm gonna open my heart. I'm gonna twirl and whirl and spin in a spirit dance. I'm gonna lend a hand. I'm gonna cherish the land. I'm gonna give and give and give all I can provide. For we are angels in expression, in the total universal connection. Through one another's eyes, we can recognize the truth. We're gonna save the trees. We're gonna honor the seas. We're gonna cry, dive and fly on the wings of love. We're gonna heal the world. We're gonna walk in peace. We're gonna share and share and share and bring release. For we are angels in expression.
That was truly incredible. Sasha, most talented.
How are you? How are you doing? What's her name again? Ada. Ada, how are you? Very good. Nice to meet you too. Yes.
Wife with John? John?
Yes, that's good. Okay, right. Okay, so what do I do? That's all right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, tell me what to do.
A group of Maori people outside the venue performed a traditional pōwhiri ceremony to welcome Master to New Zealand. A pōwhiri is more than just a welcome, it is an acknowledgement of the dimensions of spiritual, physical and mental wellness.
Pakatai Maira! Pakatai Maira! Pakatai Maira!
Tēnā rāka kau e pōhiri mai nei anai tēnei tō tātou whamanuhiri e karanga Maira.
On this occasion, the Kaumatua was also a spiritual leader of the Maori. He then thanked her for the tremendous work that she is doing for the higher good of all people. He said that as tangata whenua, we have a responsibility and accountability to our people to manaaki, embrace and host the Master with the reverence she deserves.
He tia hati koutou i koutou ingoa, tini a koutou pā. Tēnei pō, ko tai mai tini a koutou pā. E tāku ki te atu e ngari whai, whāriki i tōna, i reti ngā huatanga i tōku whakaponga i ngari whai, mā kuarahi ana o tau kukuri. Pakawa nā hau e i hui tōku ngā whai. Kei tau here i tā huatanga o tēnei pō, kei hiko i tanga mā mātu mā katoa ngari whai. Kei tirohanga atu e i hui ngā huatanga o te ao. Uhia mai a koutou i hoto koutou arohanoa ki a koutou whā. Kei pupuri ano a hau i a koe ngā tahuano kei ruti tōku ngā kau. Ngā tua te tanga o tōku hairiru i te mata o te whenua. Ke ka horengi atu e koutou roti tā koutou kapurahi, ke pungarehu rawa atu. Ke noho ai a hauiru me te ngā kauri pune tā, ke whānau hau ai o te ngā mahi pai atu wairu a kere te pūki te kūpa te harakore, ke mā kore. Ke hui tahi ai koutou ngari whai wāngini a mātou. Kei tātari e ngari whai e kaupapa o tēnei pō. Ko koutou hoki ei hoa te timatanga, ko koutou te whakoti na pāpiringa te pākaha. Ko koutou no te mauri o ngā mea katoa. Ngā whakawhitinga o te kanohi ki ngā whetu e ngari whai. Ngā aua te moa nei tirohanga e ihua mā mātu ke tei mātu i ahua. Te hohonu o wenei kōranga ngari whai me pehe atu. O e noka ino i ka hātu te haere ana wā koutou ana herpona ki mua ki muri ki o mātu i taha. Pei tātari e ngari whai tā mātu whakawhitinga atu e ihua ki a koe. Me te hotu ana kai roti te whatu manawa i kohi e ihua i o a koutou pono. Mai tōku tainga mai ki konei tēnei pō. Ka uru te waihu e rotu tōku ngā kau. Ko ki gato tēnei whare. Tōku ki te atu i a rātu noa wāhi gato teo. Popuri te rātu e hoi ta rātu whakatau atu e ihua ki a koe. Ke whai hua, ke whai pāke ka wā mātu mai gato e roti i a koe. Ngā huatanga anō e ihua e whakapiri tēnei tātu e ihua e whakapiri ana i a koe. Ki wāu poronga anō kei konei tēnei pō katali tōku ngā kau. Ke kitei mātu e hoi ngā hua te au. E horahia ni ana ngari whai o tina whakari te ngāno tō koutu kōriata. Ke whakapono i mātu e hua ona kāhui katoa kei roto katoa i tō koutu ringaringa. Mona ki tia tēnei poronga koutou. Ke noho ai e roti tōku ano kāinga i tōku ano whenua. Ke whakawhiwhi ai e i tā koutou taonga. Piki te ora, piki te kahapi, te māmatau me te rai māru. E kāhui haere te koutou i hoi e nei kōrero katoa ki a koutou pono e manaki e tuaki a mātu i te roa ngāke o tēnei pō. I runga tani re kōriata o koutou ingoa o te matua o te tama. O te waiua tapu me a koutou ana he pono mā ngaina tautupu mai aini a ake nei. Tāti ti hei mauri oro. Tiro hia a te pane. O iwi. Ka puku puku. Ka puku puku. E kawau. E kawau tiki tiki. Ko tau. Kiri me te tā. E kui, tēnei ka hotu tōku whatu manawa. Tōku rongo atu, e haere mai ana koe ki roti tōku whenua. No reira ka hari ka koa tōku ngā kau, ngā tini kōrero. E mōhi ona hau ko utani e oku mātua, oku tūpuna te āhua, ka haere mai te ao ki hona. Mea maka ko koe kei roti e rā kore, kami hi atu ki a koe, haere mai, haere mai, haere mai. Haere mai hono mai te ahua, o tōku hia hia, e pūranga tia e koe tāu, e rapungiana e te neiu. Ke kake ai tāua, e rungi oku maunga. Ke kaukau ai tāua, i oku mora. Ki ahei ahau te raparapa atu, ngā one oku mātu oku tupuna, ki runga i o rekere. E māma haere, i tau haere. Kūru mai koe ki roti tōku whenua. Ngā kōreri whakataungia e wāku tamari. Kia hono mai ai koe ki roto i tēnei whare. Kia popuri ahau te tāngo tēnei whare. E mihi atu na kia. Kia mga puta tia i ahau ngā kore. E ahate hau e wāwara. E tuaraki. Nā nei o mai te puputara ki uta e tika nā e au te koto. O te kaupapa o whakari tia mōk. Haina tia e oku mātu oku tupuna tahi pepa. Kia mai! whātu ngaro ku tangata. Tuanga te rawa ni maunga ko rātu ka haere te mamate, haere. Kia koe kui, kia koe hine, koe ko tau tia koe I tēnei ahi. Whirunga I tēnei o tātu whare, tēnei o mātu whare. Ho puto ku ngākau, koe ko tai mai te hongo tēnei koe. Whāriki ngia mai I tau mahanatanga whirunga I tō kuiwi. Ke noho tahi ai tāua, no tēnei wā ka hoki ai koe ki tau whāngi, a mihi whāngi ki a koe. Te tātu mahata, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātu.
Thank you, friends and family. I speak for all my brothers and sisters of the Kuan Yin family. Thank you very much for your warm welcome into the land which is yours. Thank you very much for the building in which you've allowed our family to grace you with. And thank you very much for bringing your ancestors here with you as they walk with us always.
Oh Lord, my God, oh how I awesome wonder, I hear the sound, my Lord, that I recognize as your calling.
Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your love. I'm so overwhelmed by your kindness and your poetic, spiritually elevated expression of love. This kind of highly elevated spiritual expression you cannot hear everywhere, and it is very rare, and it touches everyone's soul who hears it. I wonder if all of you are poets, or perhaps you are saints. You need to translate?
You're a saint. No, they can understand English.
But their language is so beautiful. Maybe you should say it.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
I guess the Father has spoken so beautifully. I have no more better words to say except tēnā koutou many, many times. And I'm so honored, very, very extremely honored. And I'm sure God bless you, your people, and your land. If my humble prayer has any effect at all, I would pray again, now and tonight, and in the future, for your people. And I shall always treasure this elevated feeling today. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much. And thank God for your presence and for your gift. I hope we will enjoy each other. And wherever I go, I shall remember you. Thank you so much. I think I'd better get going to work. I'm very shy with all these professional singers. Yes, their voices are so great, so strong. Yeah, and full of love, and my goodness. What do you eat? You have voices. How much time you practice a day? How many hours? No? Just natural? Oh. From the Father's speech and from their love, their vibration, I can feel that you have a great, great spiritual tradition. your level of spiritual understanding is very high, was very high, and is still very high. I am so happy to meet such a spiritually highly developed race of people. Thank you so much. Thank you for the honor. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to New Zealand.
You are a poet. You make me cry.
Thank you.
Enjoy this.
See our upcoming star here. Thank you very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you're all waiting to hear the divine words from the Supreme Master Ching Hai, who is now in the building and walking down the aisle. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please put your hands together for the Supreme Master Ching Hai. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have for you a performance in honour of the Supreme Master Ching Hai, which is presented to you by the Hato Patera College Culture Group. Following this, there will be a fruit and flower offering ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Hato Patera College Group.
Te te whae, anei tēnei e tautoko ana ngā mihi o tō mātou matua I waho. Tēnā koe haere mai. Anei te kura o Hato Pētera e mihi whakatau ana koe ki Aotearoa. Ko ngā tamariki no ngā hau e whā. No ngā waka e whitu no ngā iwi o te ao. Anei te kura o Hato Pētera.
Kia ora tātou mihi atu ki a koutou anō. Hato Pētera is a co-ed Catholic school on the North Shore, and we're proud and honoured to represent Māoridom tonight for you in front of you, the Master, and distinguished guests. Our first item is a choral item called E Te Atua, which asks of our Lord, and we thank Him for the gifts He has given us. Kia ora. As we stand and give you our performance tonight, as you saw in the foyer, it was the haka that was done for you, as in tune with the protocol of our ancestors, that we welcome our distinguished guests in that manner. So what we're giving you tonight is just a taste of what Māoridom has to offer. Our next item, we're going to give you the poi, and then squeeze in one more item. Kia ora. The poi is called Ka Tika Auwe, and it talks about the plight of young people growing up in this world, and likening them to the dolphin and the white heron, the kōtuku. So next time is called, which is the poi, Ka Tika Auwe. Our next item is the action song called Te Reo, and it celebrates the Māori language, as you've heard tonight. It was written for a specific purpose, the ASB Polynesian Festival, which was held at the beginning of this year in March. where we participated. So the next section song, Ko Te Reo. That is our bracket for tonight. To again to our honoured guest, the Master, he mihi nui, mihi aroha kia koe, kia koutou katoa e te rangatira I mua i hakatākoto te kākonga whakaaro mō tēnei huihuinga mihi atu kia koe, kia koutou katoa, kia tāma ki whānui, haere mai I mā takitaki nei, tēnei wahine nei, mihi atu kia koutou katoa, no reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora.
Thank you very much, the Hato Pitera College Cultural Group. I'm sure that's been an experience for most of you. Very polished performance. I'd like now to invite the Supreme Master Ching Hai to the stage, where we will ask her to speak some words to you, and then we'll have the fruit and flower ceremony to begin. Thank you, Master. If you please come to the stage.
Tēnā tūku, thank you so much. God bless you. I'm very, very touched and honored. Thank God for giving me this chance to visit your beautiful land and getting to know your beautiful races of people. And thank you for coming. I guess everybody is very touched, so I also thank the New Zealand brothers and sisters who have been working very hard to make this beautiful evening a special memory. Thank you, and God bless your land, your people, and bless all the wishes that you have in your dreams. If you already know what you want to ask, you can write it already and hand it out so that we can answer it right away later, yeah? So you don't have to wait until we finish. Somebody can walk up and down and collect questions. All right, because you know already, before I begin, I think you know why you are here. Everyone wants to know what God is. And everyone wants to know where we come from. And that's the reason why we came here, actually. That's the reason why we came to this planet, the so-called planet, physical planet. Even though, at the same time, we are connected with heaven and spiritual planets, if we call that. But because we have forgotten the connection, so many of us, or most of us, have just recognized this physical presence and this physical life we call human life. In fact, we are not just human. We are also spiritual beings. We are highly developed beings. At the same time, we are living here. We are also living in different levels of consciousness. We are also doing so many great things. But it is difficult for most of us to realize that. Our ancestors, for example, the ancestors of the Maori people that you have just seen, that they have sung so beautiful songs, so spiritually developed, so highly elevated, so soully songs, because our ancestors has known a different level of spirituality than some of us do today. But we still can develop this quality again. Not really develop, we can still remember it again. Because what we once had, we will not lose it. It just sometimes we forget. So in order for us to remember, we should, I will give you some practical experience after I explain a little, if you would like to. Because if we experience it ourselves, it's better than thousands of theoretical words. But I feel I should introduce it a little bit, even though God is not to be explained in language. But just like the Maori ancestors, they have known God. They have known spiritual levels that exceed our language, that go beyond our ordinary understanding. Therefore, they could express themselves in poetry, in music, in songs, which are so beautiful, so out of ordinary, and so touching to the soul when you hear it. It is because they express their own inner level of enlightenment. For lack of this inner enlightenment, because of forgetting this inner enlightenment and our true selves, we often cannot express ourselves in beautiful ways, in the way that we would like ourselves to express. And we sometimes could not behave or react in such a way that we would like ourselves to do. It is because we have forgotten the inner connection. We have forgotten that our lives, our so-called being, is greater, longer, and higher, and more multiple faces, multiple qualities, multiple our expressions than just this physical being that we know ourselves to be. We have forgotten that. For example, the whole being here is me, like from head to toe. Yes, the whole being. I'm not just a toe, I'm not just a finger, I'm not just a forehead. The whole being is me. But if I just remember my toes or my fingers, then I am not complete. Then it's not me, it's not complete. Similarly, if we just remember that we are a physical human being, then we are not complete. I am here today with the honor of God's permission and endowment to remind us, our fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters, and little brothers, little sisters, that we should remember our whole being, and I show you how. It is very simple to remember. More simple than breathing, more simple than eating. Breathing, sometimes we have difficulty. If we have a blocked nose, we can't breathe. Eating, if we have indigestion, we can't eat. Or if we don't have enough money to buy food, we're also in trouble. But spiritual wealth is always there. We always have it. It's just we too busy looking at outside, remembering our physical body, taking care of too many mundane duties. The world makes us very, very concentrate in the physical and material aspects that we have hardly time to remember our 99% of our being, which is higher, greater, more powerful, more miraculous, more wondrous, more everything, more holy, more divine, more beautiful, more happy, more blessed, more blissful. Everything that is godly, that is us. All the teachers have come here, they told us like that we are the temple of God, and God lives here. God lives there. So all we see here is God, or at least God's manifestation individually, differently. But we have forgotten that God quality, that God's nature of ourselves, and we just remember this small part of our being, which is the human side of ourselves. Just like because I like this ring so much, I keep looking at the ring and I just remember this finger all the time, and I forget everything else about myself. And this is not how we should do it. So that is why we don't know God, because we have forgotten to look where we should look. That is all. That is why we often tell people enlightenment is immediate, because you're already there. Suppose that I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the finger now. How long does it take me to know myself? If I don't look here, how long does it take me? 1 second, right? Not even. Okay, as long as I don't look here, I remember again, here I am. All of this is me. Yes. It's very simple. Therefore, no one is your teacher. I'm not coming here to be your teacher. Because you are already divine. I have also forgotten. At the age of 3 or 4, we begin to forget. Sorry, my English is getting rotten. You see, even English I've forgotten. Because I speak so many languages every day, the Chinese, the Vietnamese, sometimes German, sometimes French, everything. And I forgot English also. Similarly, I even forgot Vietnamese. Yes, I don't speak as fluently as when I was in Vietnam, and I don't speak Chinese as fluently as when I was still in Taiwan. because we're out of practice. Similarly, if we do not try to remember the great being that we truly are, then we will forget. And that's why it is very easy to forget, and also it is easy to remember. I'm coming here to remind you of the good news that I have remembered myself. So we can all remember anytime we want. And should we choose to stay in forgetfulness, this is also fine. It's also fine. Because you are divine. You are God. I'm sorry if I might shock you in any way, but that's what you are. If you don't believe me, look back in the Bible, and the Buddhist scriptures say you are the Buddha. Buddha nature is inside you. The Bible says God lives within this temple. So who is in there? Who else except God? If we are only the temple and God is the only one who lives in there, who are we then? Except we are God. Okay, we don't remember, fine, but we still are God. So whatever we choose to do, the God of all gods that we are, respect that. The Father of all of these beings, which we are, respects our wish and our choice to live, to express our divine selves in whichever way we want. That is why Jesus told us we do not judge people, because we do not know what is the path that being has chosen to walk. He does his things so that he might come to know God in a different way. He might choose to be a seemingly bad person. He might choose to be a seemingly very lowly person. He might choose to be seemingly a very so-called immoral person. But that is his way of knowing the divine. By choosing to be ungodly, he will one day know that this is not him. He has to go back and learn that the whole being again. Because if we always stay in heaven and we are God all the time, we will not recognize ourselves as God. So we need to lower ourselves, for example, come down to this physical level so that we can once again recognize the greatness of ourselves. And that is our choice. And that's why we came here. So the answer to our question, why are we here, is because we want to know God. So when we feel that the time is up, it's a time that we choose to remember ourselves again. That is the time when we come to seek out spiritual friends, spiritual groups, or maybe spiritual teachers, as we call them, so that we can remember quickly, because we have forgotten how to remember and where to look for. So some friend who has already remembered himself or herself may be able to help us. And then we recognize that we are nothing else but the Supreme Being, but God. We recognize the Supreme Being that lives, that is housed within this body. But actually He is not housed within the body. He housed our body. But then again, because spiritual terminology is never a very exact science, so no matter how much a teacher tells us about God, how eloquently a spiritual friend might express about the divine being within ourselves, we cannot just understand by listening. So the spiritual friend or a teacher or the guide or a friend have to show us practically, not just theoretically. For example, when Jesus came to our planet, he taught his disciples both ways, theoretical way and practical way. And that's why later his immediate disciples could also do wonders, could also see heaven, could also hear the voice of God, the word of the Creator, could also see the light of heaven, could ascend to heaven and even see the angels or see the Father. The Father spoke to them, like his Father spoke to Moses, and the angels also spoke to them. Likewise, we could do that. Because as great as Jesus' disciples, we are also great. We and Jesus' disciples, same, equally. Because Jesus said to us that we are all children of God. But because we have forgotten. So sometimes one friend, two friends have to come to remind us, but only when we are ready. Because if we are not ready, no one can do much for us.